ले जा संदेसी बदन में जा तत्वों के पार जाना मिलेगा वतन सुहाना फरिश्तों की ये वो नगरिया बाबा जहाँ है हमारे प्यारे 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 संदेसी वतन में जा उस वतन में अव्यक्त भाषा नैनों से बोलेंगे मेरे बाबा नैनों ही नैनों से कहना दिल के बयाना हमारे प्यारे 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 देसी वतन में जा
Good morning and welcome back to the Angel series, a series dedicated to the highest potential in each one of us. We are to become these angels, so why not do it now, before the end of the year? Each of you can understand what your own result is, and you can also judge what the result is. Do you know the signs by which one is able to discern the angelic stage in the life of all of you? There will be uniqueness in each action. And secondly, whilst they are performing every action, there will be the experience of supersensuous joy from any physical sense. So the sign of being an angel is supersensuous joy. Their eyes, features, and activity will always remain in supersensuous happiness. You will be able to see the sparkle of uniqueness and supersensuous happiness in every action, through which you will know that they are stable in the angelic form whilst in the body. If you are able to see both these aspects in your actions, you would understand that you are stable in the angelic stage. So being in the angelic stage, it means there is uniqueness in your actions, a uniqueness which is not earthly, which is not ordinary, a uniqueness that is also pointing towards divinity. And second signal, second sign is happiness. So being extraordinary, being unique, being your original, being unearthly, and being extremely happy to all your sense organs. If these two signs are not visible, then understand that they are lacking and that you have to make effort. In order to attain the angelic stage, you have been told one slogan. Very simple. Angelic stage is based on one slogan. If you are able to remember that, you can never be defeated by any obstacle. Do you remember such an elevated slogan? What is a slogan to attain victory over the obstacles whilst making effort? And the slogan is, the self-sovereignty is our birthright. Self-sovereignty, being a king of the self, being a king of this internal world and outer world, everything around me, being a ruler of our world, That is our birthright, the birthright of the soul. So the slogan is self-sovereignty is our birthright. At this time, the treasures of the Father are our birthright. Have you forgotten this slogan? What will happen when you forget your right? You know what things you have a right over, for all these things are your birthright. When you consider yourself to have a right, you will not be dependent on anything. In order to save yourself from being dependent, consider yourself to have rights. First of all, you have a right to the happiness of this time. And then you have a right to the happiness of the future world. There is a right for happiness now and in the future. And so do not forget your rights. When you forget your rights, you become dependent on one thing or another. And those who are dependent on external things can never be happy. Those who are dependent on external things have the attainment of sorrow in every aspect, in their thoughts, words, and actions. Those who have a right stay in happiness and the joy of having the right. And because of these joys, the wealth of happiness is threaded around their neck in the form of a garland. These were the words from Raja Yoga teachings on what is the foundation of this angelic stage. It is very simple, just one slogan. It is easy to remember a slogan, isn't it? It is just a few words, and this slogan that we can have now in December month. In this month, let's have just one slogan. And the slogan is not the slogan buy more, give more, consume more, eat more. The slogan is very simple. The self-sovereignty is our birthright. This is a slogan of the angel. This is a slogan of the one who wants to activate the angel within. Self-sovereignty is our birthright. Self-sovereignty means the soul is a sovereign. The soul is a king. The soul is an emperor. The soul is a ruler of the mind, intellect, personality. The soul is a commander of these physical senses. It is a soul that decides what I see, what I hear, what I speak, what I touch, what I smell. We are not driven by the senses. We are the rulers of the senses. We can decide what will the senses see and hear and speak. It is not that I just said something and then I'm sorry. I say, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't want to say that. Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't want to touch that. Our life, the life of human beings now is spent only in sorrow. There is sorrow caused by all physical senses. There is sorrow caused by mind, by upheaval in the mind. There is sorrow by hearing what we don't want to hear, by seeing what we don't want to see. It is sorrow by storing all these impressions from the outer world. Now let us regain the self-sovereignty of the soul. The soul is a king. The angel is the highest king. It is a king of an eternal, subtle, invisible reality. The angel is beyond any limitations, is constantly free, constantly rich, constantly wealthy. There is no other king as lucky as the angel. There is no other king or emperor as fortunate as is the angel. The angel is constantly swinging in the swing of happiness. The angel is constantly seeing at every step only treasures, only fortune, only wealth, only stars. For the angel, each and every soul is a star, is a lucky star. The soul is like a lucky star, is like a point of light that has the original qualities of peace, love, truth, purity, happiness, regard, wisdom, generosity. All of these are the qualities of the soul, the lucky star. The angel is seeing these treasures at every step, every breath, every thought, every word, every action of the angel is full with experiencing these eternal treasures. He is never lacking anything. Which king can be higher and richer than the angel? There is no king, no emperor, no president, no prime minister, no wealthy person in this world who can have the quality of life that the angel has. The angel has the highest quality of life possible. He is the King of Kings. He has a life with the King of Kings, with God. What can be a higher quality of life than to be the friend of God, companion of God? God is on the side of the angel. The angel can say, can put up the board, God is on my side. With God on my side, nothing can happen ever to the angel. It is a life of happiness and only happiness. This is our birthright. It is easy to take your birthright. It is very easy to experience something that is your birthright. For the human beings, they believe that their birthright is their name, their color of the skin, their family, their house, their religion, their country. They believe this is a birthright. For the angel, the birthright is a family with God, is the eternal reality, is an unconditional love of God, unlimited peace, unconditional joy, eternal and unlimited joy and happiness. That are the rights of the angel. The condition that human beings are right now in is not that of an angel. The condition is that of sorrow. And as we just heard, what is the cause of all the sorrow is that dependency. Human beings are dependent on everything right now. They are dependent on physical substances. They are dependent on other people. They are dependent on weather. They are dependent on news. They are dependent on their feelings. They are dependent on their past and predictions of the future. Dependency means slavery. Dependency is the lowest quality of life. Dependency does not only mean being dependent on cigarettes, on tobacco, on drugs, on alcohol, on food, on sugary drinks. All that dependency is very gross and external. But there are dependencies on other people. People depend on other people. People depend on their position, depend on the news that they receive. They depend on how many likes they have on Facebook. Our mood depends on how many people are watching the video on YouTube. Our mood depends on how many people are calling us for Christmas, how many people are sending us a card, how many people remember my birthday. The mood of human beings, their internal happiness depends on all of that. There is nothing lower than a life where there is dependency, where you depend on everyone and everything. And someone said, your fear is 100% dependent on you for its survival. Fear is not real. Ego is not real. False image of the self is the only one that can have fear because it's not real. It has to find new emotions, new appraisal, new regard based on external things to survive. The soul never has any fear. The soul is eternal, never dies. So it can never be afraid of anything. We just need to resurrect that soul. That angelic soul, it is as if it's dead now. It's unconscious, it's asleep. It's in the sleep of ignorance. Through spiritual knowledge, we can resurrect the angel. And for the angel, there is zero fear. A world where there is zero fear, zero insecurity, zero poison. That is a life of the angel. Voltaire was saying, it is not inequality which is a real misfortune, it is dependence. Inequality is not the real misfortune. It is dependence, the real misfortune. It is the biggest misfortune, our dependence on everything around us. At the present moment, only in the United Kingdom, there are over 200,000 people yearly who are searching for counseling, for giving up dependence on substances. That includes alcohol, tobacco, drugs, all types of drugs. Out of these, 3% are dependent on that drugs, are dependent on that substances. This is a situation with a small number of people, but the whole population of the planet right now is living in these dependencies. They are dependent on the food. What kind of food are we going to eat today? They are dependent on the drinks. What kind of drinks am I going to have today? What kind of pleasure am I going to take today from this outer world? Only pleasure. Pleasure of the taste, pleasure of the smell, pleasure of the eyes, pleasure of the ears. What kind of music am I going to hear today? I cannot meditate unless I have a certain music. I cannot concentrate unless I see a certain image. I cannot have a good life unless I eat some special type of food. All of that are dependencies. A life that is based on dependencies is a life of slavery. It is not a spiritual life. Angel means freedom. Angel means the one who is flying. The one who is flying is using his wings to be up above all these small pleasures dependent on the physical world. This physical world is temporary, it's changing, and it is going to end. Any pleasure based on the physical world will end today, tomorrow. Another quote, our dependency makes slaves out of us. Our dependency makes slaves out of us, especially if this dependency is a dependency of our self-esteem. If you need encouragement, praise, pats on the back from everybody, then you make everybody your judge. The deepest dependency is a dependency of our self-esteem. Human beings no longer have that self-esteem of the soul. In soul consciousness, soul knows its dignity, its honor, its self-respect is not based on anything of the outer world. The self-respect of the soul is not based on what he or she is doing. What you do is not the basis of the true self-respect. What you are is a basis of self-respect. And the soul already is an angel. The angel has a higher self-respect. It doesn't need anyone to praise him. The angel keeps praising God. The angel does not need recognition, acknowledgement, letters of thank you, cards of gratitude. The angel already knows. The angel knows his value, knows that he is supremely loved by God. He knows he is supremely worthy. He knows he is supremely peaceful, loving. He knows the truth. The angel lives in truth, can see the truth of each and every human soul. The angel has God as his companion. Truth will prevail on this earth. Truth will prevail in the mind of human beings because truth is eternal. Falsehood, lying, ego, false image of the self, all are temporary and they will end. Let us make our Christmas the time when truth prevails on earth. Let us make this Christmas the time when you become an angel. Each and every human soul has this potential to be an angel, close to God, companion of God, helper of God. Make this truth your truth at this time. Celebrate the highest celebration with God as an angel of God. What is a sign of being an angel? The sign of being an angel, we just heard, is happiness. There will be happiness all around you. Everyone will be happy with you. No one will have any complaint. They will not complain anymore that you are not helping them with Christmas cooking. They will not complain that you didn't send enough emails, you didn't send the right card, you didn't do the good shopping, you spent too much money, or you spent too less money for the Christmas. There won't be any complaints anymore because the angel is serving the other angels. The angel is helping God in his task to recreate a world of peace, love, purity, prosperity. This is the ultimate desire of each and every human soul. Our ultimate desire is for the experience of peace, love, and happiness here in this world. There is no other world. There is no other world in the skies. There is no heaven in the sky. Heaven is here on earth, and it depends on the mind of human beings. The mind in its own can create heaven out of hell, or hell out of heaven. Our mind can create heaven here. How? By seeing that happiness, by seeing that birthright. Right now in the world, people are not sure that happiness is a birthright of human beings. There is a new discussion, the third generation discussion on happiness. And they have decided that a right to happiness cannot be fulfilled. They are not sure that human beings have a right to happiness. This is how much falsehood there is now in the world. They think that internalist ideas that think that happiness is based on the freedom of action is not possible. It's not possible to have freedom of action, so it's not possible to have happiness. Externalist ideas that think that happiness can be based on possessions, objects, food, whatever is in the outer world, it's also not possible. Because if we have everything we want, others will not be able to have anything. So it's not possible to be happy by accumulating more. The more you accumulate, someone else will have less. So that kind of happiness is not possible. But the other kind of happiness based on internal freedom, they think is not possible either. So they decided there is no right to happiness. This is a force that exists now in this world. Even researchers, even science, even governments can no longer see the right to happiness that all human beings, all nature, and all animals have the right to be happy. Only God can see that clearly. Only God and his angels can restore this cheerfulness, this joy, this unlimited happiness that all human beings have a right to it. Let us restore this happiness now at the Christmas time. Before starting the new year, let us resurrect that angel within. Start today with reducing the dependency on anything that is external or internal. Start by observing these dependencies. Whatever dependency exists on the outer things, coffee, sugar, drinks, food, people, possessions, or whatever dependency exists within for someone to praise me, to recognize me, to acknowledge me, to feel that I am worthy and loved. Whatever dependency is seen, it will be reduced. Just start to see the dependencies and to drop them. That is the first step to become the angel that you are. Thank you for listening. We can finish with a few moments of music.
उस वतन में अव्यक्त भाषा नैनों से बोलेगी मेरे बाबा नैनों ही नैनों से कहना दिल के बयाना हमारे प्यारे प्यारे प्यारे